Hello, welcome. I'm going to continue from where my colleague did his demonstration. So this is Boardmind AI, Kenya's first AI eBoard. As you can see on your left panel, these are the core features of the eBoard. So basically, all the standard features found in eBoards across the world and in Kenya are found in this eBoard. Number two, you can see that government institutions, parastatals, media companies, and any other institution in Kenya that wants to have proper governance are required to do governance and legal audit once every 2 years. So this is the first e-board also in the country that has a personalized governance and legal audit modules integrated into the e-board. Three, also, as you can see, we do audio recording and transcribing into text, ensuring board decisions minutes are captured on a timely fashion and in an accurate form. We have demo accounts here just to enable you to test this platform. So I'm going to log in as a tenant admin or the company secretary of one specified company. So as you can see, the landing page has all the necessary tools required for an eBoard. First, you can see the user who is logged in. You can actually also see that this user is able to switch companies. What this means is we may have situations where you have multiple companies within your organizations and you have the same secretary managing all the different companies. So they don't need different usernames or different passwords to switch through the companies. The look and feel for every company can change. It is not hard coded. You can change in the settings as we'll be able to demonstrate. And different companies may have different themes. That is possible. We no longer want to hard code things. On your left side panel, you can see we have the dashboard, which is what you're seeing here. All meetings are shown in the calendar. The calendar will reflect itself automatically as the days goes by. So if we go to July, the calendar will change automatically. So you can be able to open the meetings from here and you can see the details of these meetings and directly click here and open. You can also come here to the meeting session on your side panel here. You'll also see all the meetings with the latest meeting coming on top. From the main dashboard here, of course, you can see upcoming meetings, past meetings. You can also schedule meetings and see your governance score. Everything you can drill down. So if, for example, I click past meetings, it will drill down to past meetings. So all that has been considered. So before I go probably to governance and legal audit, I'll briefly open one meeting. So you can come here and say start meeting. So this meeting doesn't have an agenda item. Let me open one with an agenda item. So I'll go back to the dashboard and open, let's say this one, and say open. Yes. So you can see on your left panel, this meeting has 7 agenda items. Already the timer has begun because you have scheduled the meeting and you have said start the meeting. This meeting has time allocated for every agenda item, which was done by the company secretary when he or she was scheduling the meeting. So that's first on the agenda items. If there's any conflict of interest on an agenda item, the board of trustees will raise their hand and the secretary will update accordingly. Again, we normally have attendees of a meeting, but not everybody who was scheduled to attend will be able to attend. So the secretary is able to mark who has attended and who has not attended. Remember, this meeting can be a physical or a hybrid meeting. In this case, it's a physical meeting, but because you don't want to print your board packs and have all your secret board packs accessed by people who are printing the documents, the secretary will prepare this board pack and upload it here as a PDF, meaning that the confidentiality of the board is guaranteed. The secretary can write here minutes as the meeting goes on. He or she can also upload the board pack here, and they can upload one or multiple board packs. And if they replace an existing board pack, then the old board pack is not deleted. It's kept here as a version, just for proper audit trails. Once the meeting goes on, this is of course the most critical thing. The board of trustees will come and open the board pack. Then they'll be able to ignore this software. So they'll be able to see the PDF here. They can be able also to put this PDF in full screen. So rarely do we find board packs being able to put PDFs in full screen. which we considered an important feature. Remember, while we were building this eBoard, we had actually reviewed all the existing eBoards in the market and realized that there are pain points that many of the providers have ignored to provide. So, putting it on full screen ensures the board of trustees can see and can see the whole PDF in a clear way. Of course, all the other standard features required while attending a meeting, like doing highlighting text, doing commenting, or even doing annotations, are pre-built into this eBoard. When you're putting a comment, if you look on your bottom right here, you can put comments that are shared, meaning all the other board of trustees who are in attendance can see your comments. If you say private, it means your comments are private, and if you say secretary, it means only the secretary will see your comments. The other thing is, of course, the audio transcribing. We say that audio transcribing is tied per agenda items. So if you notice here, we have multiple agenda items. So once this agenda item starts, because trustees can pause in between, the device will detect the microphone, then it will immediately start recording. So as the meeting goes on, it will filter out any blanks. So if you keep quiet for too long, it will not record blank noise or the silence. So it will keep recording until you say pause or stop. So once that agenda item is completed, the agentic AI behind this system will be able to transcribe. And if you notice, it did not take us more than a minute. It took us exactly 10 seconds, to transcribe and generate the Word document. Why? Because you have multiple agents behind the scene that are combining to generate the text. So everything I was saying, if you notice, it is what has come on this Word document. We put it on Word to enable easier editing from the secretary. So of course, you'll be able to record at an agenda item, but also you can generate the minutes at the merged minutes once you finish all the other agenda items. So it gives you all that flexibility. I won't go into depth on this, but it's important to note that sometimes also we speak Swahili in our meetings. So the system can be configured to auto-detect the language and allow even both English and Swahili in the meeting. So the accuracy of the transcribing by the AI engine is accurate. The other important feature that is not found in standard eBoards is the ability to ask questions on the board pack. Truth be told, you have uploaded a PDF of 30 pages. We have a trustee who did not read the board pack, but they want to know what are the pertinent issues on this meeting. So they can come and ask the AI system, and it will summarize the agenda items here, and they'll be able to know what's supposed to be done or what was written in this board pack. The other element is you'll be able to vote. Sometimes you want to vote on an agenda item, so the chairman can raise a question and allow the board of trustees to vote on an agenda item. And the voting will be stored on this specific meeting. After a meeting is done also, you also want to do what we call action items. If you notice on your side panel here, you'll do action items at agenda level. Meaning, for every agenda, if there's anybody who is supposed to be assigned a task with a deadline, we're able to do all this. This helps Board of Trustees to track any aspects of the meeting. The other important element to mention on your top right here is you can adjourn a meeting. You started a meeting, you want to end the meeting midway and continue tomorrow for some reasons, you can adjourn and continue the same meeting tomorrow instead of saying the meeting has ended. Also, equally here, you can be able to join this meeting electronically. And probably the first thing I should have done if I go to the homepage here was to show you how to schedule a meeting. So once you click here and say schedule a meeting, it gives you through this wizard of creating a meeting where you'll put a title, the meeting type if it's a full board, a committee meeting, the time, and you have also considered the time zones. Because sometimes you find that situations arise, some of your board members are outside the country. Important here is the virtual meeting. Once you click that, it will allow you to select either Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or an in-house developed video conferencing solution. So we have these standard platforms, but you have also developed one Boardmind AI that is integrated into this. What that means is For your invited guests or your board members, they don't need to have these external platforms. They can actually attend and have a video inside this platform. That gives us flexibility of privacy of our meetings. And for those who don't have subscriptions to such tools, it still guarantees you to be able to enjoy the features of a hybrid meeting. We can proceed next, but we should ideally get an error. The error is hidden down here. It's saying meeting title is required. So, of course, there's a wizard app here where you'll see attendees, agenda items, documents, notifications, and all that. So, we will not proceed to schedule that meeting. I'll just go back to the dashboard and probably now just mention something else that on your top right, you can, this is the first eBoard that you can actually do it in Swahili. So if you notice, all the items have transitioned or translated into Kiswahili. So for any board of trustees that is more comfortable in Swahili, being our beloved country, yes, the first Swahili eBoard in Kenya. I'll go back to English and also mention that this system caters for people with disability. So for us who know, the international standards are called WCAG. So it allows you, number one, to change any settings that are required by persons with disabilities. On the board pack also, when you open the PDF, there's a button there for read aloud. What that means is for somebody who cannot see, can play the audio and it will read the board pack PDF that is open at that point in time. The other aspect I should mention here is this system does an advanced search. This is the first eBoard where you can search board resolutions. Sometimes you find a situation where a board made a decision 5 years ago. You don't know the date, you don't know who made the decision, you just have a clue of the resolution that was done. So it allows for what is called federated search, where you can search for board resolutions. Now, I'll move from meetings because you have seen the essence of a meeting is just, scheduling meetings and members attending to the meetings and being able to reference historical board packs. So we have a document vault down here, and it's a robust one because number one, it's more of a document management system where all types of documents are scheduled. So here we will also provision for board documents are also provisioned here, and you can be able to upload historical board meetings here. So as much as you onboard a new board of trustee today, they may want to see other board packs that were done previously. So you'll come and upload a PDF here and proceed ahead and do an intelligent upload. Intelligent upload means it will take the document to the correct document library, but not just that, it now brings us to what I'll call the governance audit. Now, depending on the framework you use, assuming you're a media company, number one, you can conduct a media audit review. You can conduct a full audit year review. So we have not restricted this system to anything. This system will allow you to conduct as many audits within the year as much as possible as you wish. But of importance is, these audits are usually cumbersome. And when I say cumbersome, it means there's a lot of checklist or requirements that are supposed to be provided, especially on governance audit. I find legal audit more simplified. So what that means is you have a secretary who is supposed to provide evidence whether you have compliance on all these parameters, on ethical leadership, transparency, compliance with laws, communication. So all those parameters, you're supposed to provide documentary evidence. What happens? You have hired an expert to come from outside. You want him to come and audit you. You don't have all these documents. You are running helter-skelter trying to collect all these documents. So what happens with this system is, as you start scheduling meetings, and I want to connect the dots now. Once you start scheduling meetings, for example, and the governance audit requires you to validate that there was a quorum for meetings, that there was gender balance in board meetings, that the board members attended, how many number of meetings in a year. What that means is the governance audit will start auto-scoring itself through the agentic AI module. So immediately you open the year, the system will automatically create the financial audit and start it in progress, because it is being fed by meetings that are being held, and is also being fed by documents that are being uploaded. So if you upload an ICT policy and it's actually a requirement in one of these 9 frameworks, what that happens is automatically the governance score will start scoring. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of ensuring that by the time an auditor comes, the system will have actually reviewed how many board meetings were held, what were their quorum, and all those details. So it makes the work of an auditor very, very easy. The system is so robust that it also has a project planning module inside the governance audit, because sometimes you need to plan, have meetings, and all that. Also, the system has reports, and you have the standard reports that are usually generated for governance audit. But also, if you have had offline meetings, you can also be able to upload the meetings here. So legal audit again is a standard feature that is institutions are supposed to do. So this is also implemented on this eBoard. We also have a place for approvals. We also have a place for elections. So probably you want to elect the board chair. You can come here, create an election, and the board members will be able to conduct an election. There's also a board evaluation. So this system is a fully fledged board evaluation system where you can do an evaluation of the chair, of the board members, of yourself, or peer review, and then be able to submit the scores. What I should also mention on this is if you have unique questions for your unique board, then yes, we will personalize for that. There's also a compliance check. Every institution, be it a media company, a bank, there's a checklist of what you're supposed to comply based on your regulator, and then you'll be able to track all the compliance items here. Of course, here we have the board members who have been created into the system. Of pertinence is to note that the secretary can aid in resetting the password. Sometimes we allow self-service, which is the best practice, but also sometimes a board member has walked in and they just say, no, help me reset my password. There's an audit log for everything. So once you reset a password, you can also deactivate or begin the exit of a board member. The other aspect is voice enrollment. What this does is, remember, we are doing audio recording and transcribing of minutes. You want to be able to record a text for this board of trustee to read so that you know their voice. So when they are attending meetings, you're able to know who is speaking in that specific meeting. Now, I will not touch much on payment vouchers. These are for clients who have ERP systems. Integrations are usually not priced with this package, but our pricing is very reasonable depending on the complexity of your integrations. So we've had institutions where we have done integrations for ERPs where they want to receive payments and approve electronically. Of course, here you can see the profile of the individual who is logged in. They can be able to edit their profile and also do the voice signature and sync their calendar. I should have probably mentioned that when you see the calendar on your dashboard, every person sees their calendar, but the secretary can see the conflicting meetings. So probably you as a board member, you have connected your Microsoft 365 or your Gmail account. So when the trust secretary is scheduling meetings and any of the board members has another meeting already scheduled, then the meeting will show a conflict, and it will show which board members are conflict in case they want to talk to them and ask them whether they can readjust their schedule. That allows or prevents scheduling meetings when board members are not available, instead of calling them up front to ask them. As you can see here, it said you can personalize the color, theme, and everything. So this system has provided for all that flexibility, where if you have preference for a certain color or theme, you can change it without going to the developer. We also have settings here where you can change the templates for the governance audit, and you also have more settings here to just do with the look and feel and usability of the system, password settings, and all that. Now, I would wish to sign out and show you another profile, which is very important, the super admin. So presume you have multiple companies that you are managing, or you have multiple board organizations. Here, that's where you'll create different organizations. So you have done data isolation. There's no way board members of one company can see content of any other board company. Number two, same as committees. The committees you create for a specific company, they are for that specific committee. The type of meetings you create, the audio recording, all those settings are done by the super admin. So if you open this specific company, you'll see they have their about data. The super admin can know whether their board members are already created, committees that are there, any tenants, and you normally have somebody you call a tenant admin, which is more of the company secretary. He has more powers than an IT. He has less powers than an IT person, but administratively is the administrator of the company. Then, of course, also you can load the logos, rename the companies, and also unselect the features that you don't want or want in this system. Sometimes also you can restrict the number of users you want in that company and the number of subsidiaries or tenants that you want. This way you prevent any hiccups where you find somebody was created and is not actually a board member. Audit logs are detailed. Every activity has a timestamp of who, when, and what. Again, here the super admin can see users. They can also help. You can find users who are assigned to multiple companies. So, like David Kibetia is a member of 3 or more companies. What that means is they can switch between companies. So, that membership is allowed, and you can define which role you want to assign them for that specific company. So, these are role based access control system. The other thing is, of course, they can reset their passwords, but importantly, they can also enable multi-factor authentication. So they can capture their face, finger, or mobile authentication, also generate a code in case they lose or anything happens to their account. So the system allows multi-factor authentication, but to mention, it also has what you call zero trust architecture. I was not able to demonstrate because the PDF was not able to open because of our software installed. But of importance is, even if you are an authenticated user who is a board member and you try to download a board pack or do other sensitive operations, then you'll be asked for your biometrics even though you're already authenticated. That is what we call a zero trust architecture. Again, this is the first eBoard that we have noted that it has this feature. So as I've said, we analyzed other top organizations that have large eBoards that have been in the market. And so we were listening to customer feedback before we gave all this flexibility. You can see also you can fine tune this flexibility. Sometimes you have clients who actually want to commercialize this solution. Yes, Boardmind AI has provision for that. So we've even integrated for you various packages that you can assign to a company, and you can even fine tune and say this company which access, which feature it can have, and the pricing for all. So all these flexibilities have been allowed for companies that want to go and resell this eBoard. Again, you can do analytics and see how many meetings are being done, who is attending, which meetings are in different statuses. You can also upload templates for meetings and all that, audit logs, and do again more settings. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great eBoard, and it is great because for the first time, we're offering this eBoard for you to own it. So I said, for you to own it, it means we are giving you the perpetual license or we are giving you the one-off cost. So once you buy this eBoard and you have a local, you have your own data center. Your data center can be on premise in your office. We will set it up there and give you access to everything. You will not be restricted to how many users you can create. You will not be restricted to how many committees you can create because you have bought the system. So we are changing the model from SaaS, software as a service. Of course, for any clients that want SaaS because they don't have a data center, we will do that for you. We have done encryption at rest and in transit. The backend of this eBoard uses a very light, the open source database management system that ensures we don't have any other hidden licenses or hidden costs. So you will not wake up tomorrow and tell you, oh, there's this charge, there's this charge. The only element will be on the AI. But what you have tried to minimize the cost of AI. The cost of AI is coming when mostly you schedule and you ask questions on the board pack, and you are linking it with the Anthropic AI. But of importance to mention, the transcribing of audio, we are using agentic AI that you have built internally. What that means is you will not pay for agentic services. So the linking of meetings, the governance audit, the document vaults, all of those are using agentic AI. And it's out of the experience you have had in the industry for AI development that we are trying to protect our clients from incurring unnecessary costs, because the element is just making automation easier for you at minimum cost. And that's why we said we're not going to offer subscription as a service. For the first 3 months, we offer free support. Thereafter, we do an annual support. The annual support will not cost you more than half a million. It will depend on the complexity and the frequency of your meetings. So if you only have probably 4 meetings a year, the annual support will be probably 200,000. So the technical teams and the sales team will be able to agree with you. So what I'm trying to say is this is a very affordable solution. It's the way to go. For funny reasons, actually, as I wind up, I was able to show this to two people working in two different companies that actually sell eBoards in the country, and they secretly admitted that this is disruptive, and it is actually probably a good solution that any client who has no eBoard, or they are unhappy with their current eBoard in terms of pricing or functionalities, this is the eBoard to pick. And we listen and we fix customer issues because you are very responsive. Because number one, we want to make also some money. Economy has been tough, and so we offer services to make our customer happy. So thank you so much for listening to this session. We hope that you'll be able to onboard and buy this solution. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching.